Hello guys, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to do a book related thing, Harry Potter. I have these two books here, the English version I don't have the rest of the English version for the other books, but I have the first one, so I just decided to show you. And I don't know, I thought maybe saying in Hebrew, my opinion, but I will say it in English. I think so. So I finished reading the whole book already. Okay, I already read this series long ago. I read the first four at least more. I read the whole series at least twice, but the first four I read already like 5-6 times, like a lot of times. This is like the book I've read the most ever. I never read books so much. I don't tend to read books again. I'm not that type of writer or reader. I'm also not I don't read all the time. Okay, I'm not the type of I have my small library and I showed you in the video, but it's not a ton of stuff, and I'm missing the last book for this set because I want to have the full set. It's I need to have a full set of the whole book, books. And I might just buy other editions, but that's not a guarantee. I mostly want this edition because I want to have a full set that is complete from one start to finish. And so I bought all six. I mean, not all six. I had the Goblet of Fire and Order of the Phoenix long ago. I had it as a gift. Someone gave it to me when I started reading the series. I borrowed it from the library, but these two were given to me when I got to those books. My brother, a friend, gave it to me. It's with me since then. So the two books are older, but it's still from the same set. So that's fun. So that's what I'm going to do today. And I already showed you all my books in another video, and it's getting uploaded right now. But today I'm going to kind of review the book. I did in a way that will be fun. So I ranked I have it here. So I'm gonna read from here so I know the order. I don't know because I just did it. And is ranking all the chapters from my least favorite to my favorite. While saying that, I have to say one thing, a few things. First of all, Harry Potter is my favorite series book of all time. So even if chapters that I say I don't like, I still like. It's not that I don't like them, it's just that my least favorite in the book, right? This is the way for me to show you my favorite chapter. I feel like it's a fun way of reviewing a book, and I love this cover so much. It's so cute. I love the purple with the little dots. In the English version, I have the English version as well. In the English version, it's gold and there's no dots. I like the dots. They're very sparkling. So this has no sparkle, but it is dented here. So when you open it and that, I don't have it in this book. It's imprinted on the page. I like that. It's cool. In here it's not imprinted. It's not, but it used to be imprinted, but it's not anymore. So anyway, so this is the cover. It's so beautiful. I just love how I love the colors of the orange, the brown. Anyway, let's start the ranking. I read of this series, and by the end, when I get the final book, because I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna try to do this to all of the books. I'm going to tell you which book is my favorite, but you're not gonna know my favorite until I finish it. Okay? You're just gonna know my opinion on the book itself. Okay? You're not gonna know the position yet. So let's start. So my least favorite chapter is the third chapter. Yeah, the letters from nowhere is how it's called in English. And yeah. Let's see. That chapter is the chapter where he gets the letters and he's like fucking is the Vernon and the Darcy is like his uncle that he's living with, and he's staying in there and he is struggling. He got the letters but they don't let him get it. He got punished from like so Harry suffers a lot of it and doesn't even get the letters in this chapter. He get the answers and we get the answers to who these letters are from and why is it all happening in the next episode, which is why I like that episode way more. In this episode, we just seen him struggle and like seen him struggle to get the letter that he deserves to have because it's like is right because it's written for him, but he's like fucking asshole of like family are fucking assholes and they don't let him and they like literally drive to the end of the fucking world for like an abandoned like rainy house, or like not really a house, it's like a little house. I don't know, English is not my first language, so words are not coming to me right now, but it's like it's a woods, it's made out of woods and it's very tall, it's very like abandoned, it's not comfortable. So they went to until there because the when the first letter came, like he ignored it and then it kept coming until there was a storm, so they left because he's that stupid. He doesn't realize that those letters are gonna find him no matter what. And then Hagrid comes in and that's how we end the chapter. So but like up until then it just we see like not a lot happens except we ignore the letters and it's Harry's birthday and we like spend it like that, so it's not fun. I mean it's still a good chapter but it's just a little more frustrating than fun, and it's still entertaining to read. It's very fast to read it, but like it's just a little bit, yeah, that's how I feel about it. It's a good chapter but it's not the best. So that's in 17th place because it's 17 chapters. In 16th place is chapter 2, The Vanishing Glass. Now, I like that chapter. I like seeing Harry initial phase in magic, which they don't show in the book. That he like in school he uses magic when he Dudley like bullied him and he like escapes and he managed to like go to the roof somehow, like a lot of stuff like that, and a lot of it is explained in that chapter, not in the first chapter, in that chapter. So we see a lot of like how he lives in this house, how is his life like. It's not the best but we see a lot of the background, how he finds little moments of magic and how so it's fun to see this initial moment. It's still not the best chapter, like there's so many better chapters after that, and even the first chapter I think I like more, but it's still fun. That's the best part of this episode. But the rest of it is him again struggling, getting like punishment, getting very abused, because in the first chapter they don't abuse him yet, we just get the background story. In the second book is where they actually he really gets mistreated a lot, like fucking a lot. His family sucks. Like it sucks. Like I sometimes don't understand why they let them be there. It's unfair that he had to struggle so much. It's like unfair. Oh yeah. So that's that. 15 is the first chapter. So I mean, it's the first chapter. It's great. It's still not, of course, not my favorite because it's in 15th place. But we get the background, we get Dumbledore. It's so mysterious. It's so engaging. You read and you immediately engage into the story. You actually it doesn't start with Dumbledore appearing. Not in the books. It starts like that. But in this book, we start by knowing this random like Dudley and how he is like the worst type of Mongol and like how like stupid he is and annoying he is. He's annoying immediately. He's so like meh, like the way that he's described even in the first scene and showing him how he is. He's so like against magic, and like no matter what, like it's so stupid to be so against something. But there are people like that in real life. But getting the whole background, Hagrid coming in, it's just a classic chapter. It's the beginning of the book, and it does its job right. It serves the purpose of our first chapter. So, it's my opinion, is getting you to be interested in the rest of the series, and that chapter does a good job. So yeah, still there's better chapters. Let's move on. I don't want to talk too much. In chapter 14 is the potion master. So we get to know Snape. This is a chapter where we get to know Snape. So it's very an interesting chapter, but it's not the most entertaining chapter. But there's a lot, like the moment we starts to be in Hogwarts, every episode is great. It's the best episode. So every episode we are in the world of magic. Ever since the fourth chapter, when we start to get into the journey, it gets good. But that chapter is very good. Like, yeah, wait. Like he gets to know him, and like there's a lot of things happening with him. He's sneaking around, getting into trouble with Snape and stuff. Like a lot of things happening in this. I don't really remember much of the chapter. Let's see if I remember what happens in this chapter, so I can like let you know why I like it. Yeah, the whole chapter is just them beginning to study and him to getting to know Snape. Like he's talking about describing all the classes, how his different experiences in all the classes. So it's fun. You're getting to know all the different things in Hogwarts. You're getting to know this world, and this is part of the world building episode. But we also get to know Snape. Which this is the chapter where we get to know Snape, but we get to know all the schools, all the stuff, the things he enjoys the most, the classes he enjoys the most, and the classes and the teacher he enjoys the least. So that's fun. That's the whole chapter basically. And chapter 13 is Norbert the Norwegian Ride Back. So it's the chapter where Hagrid get a dragon, and the guy get into a big mess and get really badly punished because of it, and they get really people start to hate on Harry. I swear, in every episode they hate him. Like every episode, second, third, they always like a moment where all of them like turn against him and like they hate him and they like go behind the back. Even in the fourth book, yeah, but in the fourth book, even in the fifth, I think, but like less so because there were less interactions like that. But up until the fourth, everybody hates him. Everybody like not all the time, but like they hate him when they get the opportunity because Harry's famous and I think if everybody's jealous of him, that's why they are like that. But this is the chapter where that happened. They get into trouble, they get the Juggernaut. So it's a very interesting, a lot of things happen, but it's frustrating that they get punished for something that isn't their fault. It's annoying that nobody ever got to know that it's Hagrid's fault. Honestly, Hagrid is very annoying in this book. Because what are you doing? Why are you like letting him get into this mess? Why aren't they telling why isn't he telling the professor about it? Why are they getting punished and get into the forbidden forest? I don't know how forbidden it is if you're letting them in it, and how it almost dies. Like, what? Like, what is happening? How can, like, something I don't understand is some of the logic is like they have rules, set rules, but they don't listen to their own rules. Like, they listen to it when it can be trouble for Harry. Like, when it's right, when it makes the story interesting, not when you need it to. Like, how do they go? I guess they can go with Hagrid, but still, they're leaving them alone. They're splitting and leaving Harry fucking alone, and he almost died. Yeah, he almost died. Peng did nothing. He did nothing. They almost died, if not the centaurs. Like, I don't understand how that happened. So, but the chapter itself is very very interesting, so it's still up there. But this chapter is them getting into trouble for no reason. It's still entertaining, it's still fun to go with them in these adventures, but it just feels really really unfair when they get punished for something that isn't really their fault. I mean, they shouldn't get involved in that. They shouldn't have done that. For Hagrid, he doesn't deserve it because they got into trouble for something they didn't do. But they were just trying to be good friends and got really really badly punished for it for no reason. I think just for being good to Hagrid. So that's why it's slower. It's still very very interesting. I like, that's why it's up like above the others, because it's still an interesting episode. A lot of things happen. I like it, but Diagon Alley. So this is a chapter where we get to go to know Hogsmeade and get into all the shops and buy him all the stuff and the wand. Like, we're getting to know the world of magic. It's like in the first chapter we finally get to know that he's a wizard, and we get to know the background and why is he like that. We're getting to know a little bit about Harry. We finally understand a little bit about him. But in the fifth book, in the fifth chapter, which is a great chapter, we're getting to know the whole. It's like the whole thing is open for us, and it's so magical. And like, you get to go with him to all of these like shops and like a lot of things, and you get the one that is like have the same type of like thing Voldemort has. I don't remember how exactly they say it is. Yeah, my legs are getting like very very asleep, so I spread them like wings. Anyway, so yeah, we're getting to know all the shops, all the stories, all the little like things about Harry, about the world, but the whole magical world. We get to know Quirrell in that episode. We get we're getting to know the magic in this world. It's just the best. Next chapter. You think it's my favorite episode, but it's not. 11. In 11th place is the Midnight Duel, which is where Malfoy tell them they should fight because they're getting into trouble with one another, and Malfoy is trying to get him into trouble for like no reason. And so he makes a trap for them, and Neville and Hermione and like they all get into that, and like they get into trouble. And so it's a lot of fun. It's like a little bit like of a fun episode. It's not the best because of that. There's just better episodes, but I love their journey with Hermione and Neville, and like them getting to like the little adventures that they go to for is fun. And this one doesn't really end in anything except like with Snape getting them like scolding them. No, was it Snape? Yeah, anyway, they get to encounter the Fluffy dog. That's how they met him. So it's a lot of fun. You get to know a little bit of like they finally get like this is how they get to know into the Fluffy stuff. Without this chapter, they wouldn't have known of this whole like the dog and what it's guarding, and then they get to know it's for the first yeah. Next chapter is Nicholas Flamel. So this is the chapter after he found out about the mirror and Dumbledore convinced him to not go there. I will get into the episode later because I like that episode. But he gets back to himself. I love the Quidditch game. There's the description for another Quidditch game in this chapter. Not the it doesn't call Quidditch. It's in this chapter, and they're like competing against Slytherin, and Snape is the in is the judge in that one. In the first one, he is cursing him, but he is not. By the way, the spoilers, of course. In this chapter, we get to know who Nicolas Flamel is. They were searching for him for like a bit of time. They were really trying to find, and finally they got it. They finally get to understand what is guarding, what like this whole chapter kind of like in this chapter we can finally understand the purpose of this whole name of the whole thing. We discover it, so it's fun, and I love the Quidditch game, and I love like the reveal of what Nicolas Flamel is and his relationship with Dumbledore. It's just very fascinating to get to know this stuff. It's like a twist a little bit. Not really a twist, it's a reveal, because we've been waiting to get to know who Nicolas Flamel is and who the stone is. So it's a fun episode, and I really like the Quidditch game and how Harry is getting back to himself after the last episode, and he's like thriving, and like Dumbledore even compliments him and says like, I'm glad you like this whole episode is not in the movie. I like Dumbledore's like, I'm glad you like chose to leave and did not stay there in the mirror just forever. So I like that. Next is, let's see, the Sorting Hat. So we get to Hogwarts, and then we get to know about all the houses and לא חשבנו את הסרטון.
לא, מאיפה אני אצלם?
אז נוציא.
הנה, אני יוצא.
נו.
יוצא? אני לא מפריעה לך.
את מפריעה לי.
במה?
מפריעה לי. נו.
נרגע?
לא, עלה רגע. אוף. לא יכול לחשוב ככה. מעצבנת. תחיינול. כמו שאני עושה סרטון תחיינול, אוקיי. That's what my mom. That was annoying. I just don't like being interrupted while I'm making a video. It's interrupted flows and I need to edit it now. I don't want to edit. I'm not editing that. Whatever. Keep it in. Keep it in. I don't care. Like, and you didn't understand what I said anyway, because it's in Hebrew. Anyway, yeah, we're getting to know the different houses. We're getting to know like Hogwarts. We get to know Hogwarts. It's a iconic song that isn't in the movies. I realized they never explained it in the movies. What's the meaning of each house? Like it's just a known thing. Because some people don't know the books and they don't know this stuff. You should explain it. And the song is fun. I don't know why they didn't do the song. So it's fun, and we getting to know Hogwarts. It's just like the best. It's just so magical and so fun. Yeah. Next chapter. I'm going to try to be more short, and towards the end I'm gonna be more elongated because I'm tired of sitting in here. Okay, next is the Keeper of the Keys. So, what is it about the others? It's because we finally get to know why all of this is happening. All the letters, all the stuff. Finally, we get to know Hagrid, and Harry finally discovers he's a wizard. Finally, he can let it not be in this fucking house anymore with this fucking cruel people who like mistreat him daily basis. Like finally out of that, finally out of the misery and into the magical world. Like it feels like someone came to save Harry finally, and he finally discovered who he is, about his parents, how he died, and we get to know it as well because we didn't know up until then. Like I knew we reading it, but we didn't know up until this chapter. Like I remember reading it for the first time. We didn't know how his parents were like, died, like killed. We didn't know like what Harry went through. We just know something happened to him and he is magical. That's basically everything we know. We don't know much about this world. We don't know about Hogwarts. Nothing. We know Dumbledore. We know Hagrid, and we know three characters from the magical world, but we don't know what is this magical world. This is when we get to know about this whole world. This is when we discover stuff, and even in like in Diagonally, it's like the continuation of that. But this is the chapter we finally get to know what this book is about. What is Harry about? What is Voldemort? We don't get to know him in this chapter. We get to know everything about him. Like, not everything, but basically we finally get to know what this book is about. So, and what is this whole series about? It starts here, okay? Anyway, the in seventh place is the Forbidden Forest. So I don't like the reason and the way they get into the forest, but the chapter itself is so fascinating, so interesting. A lot happen. We get to know about Voldemort and how cruel he is a little bit in this, because he's drinking, like, he's the one who's drinking all this blood of like unicorn, and that is like the one of the most like disturbing someone can do, because it's like a unicorn, which is like a happy being, and like this cruel thing is sucking his blood for like life, and like for that to be happening, you just get to know a little bit of that, and just like exploring that forest, and like the centaurs with like the predicted future that will come up in the future again. It's getting to know it a lot of things happening in this chapter, and like he gets to know that Voldemort is behind this whole thing. So yeah, so that's fun. So it's a really, really fascinating. It's a little bit more dark in stone, this episode. It feels more dark because we're going to a forbidden dark forest that has a lot of like bad things in it, and he encounters Voldemort, and it's fascinating, okay? And he gets saved by, this centaur. Anyway. And number 6 is The Mirror of Eris, which is such a good episode. I just love him finding the mirror, and then the whole conclusion of the episode is Dumbledore coming to him. That's all the moral, and like the whole chapter is a bit more emotional for me. I like that. Is that he can't keep on thinking of something that cannot change and dwelling on dreams that cannot happen. It does not do well to dwell on dream and forget to live, which is what he was doing in that mirror. And it's just also emotion that he's finding his parents. It's just very, very like painful a little bit to like see that his whole life is being mistreated by his family, and he has parents he doesn't know, but that they loved him, and he doesn't know anything about them. He doesn't know absolutely anything. They died. They were murdered by Voldemort, and he wants to get to know them, but he can't. He can't because they're dead. So he's just looking at their reflections, like smiling to him, and it's basically, it's just so sad. But I love the conclusion of him moving on, and in the next chapter, which is the Flamel one, he gets to like continue out of that. But I love this chapter because of how emotional it is. Like it's a lot of episodes where like I can feel emotional because he is, he went through so much already. Even without the rest of the books, he already went through so much because the Darcy being so mean to him, and like his parents being killed, and he doesn't even know. Yeah. Like for the full extent of why and how, and like he was so young, like he didn't even get to experience his parents. It's, yeah. In fifth place is the Quidditch. That's the name of the chapter, and I love the game. I love this game. I love the introduction of it. Like it's the best game ever. If this was existing in the real world, I would have definitely go to matches and watch it. I'm not going to go to soccer, but I would definitely go to a Quidditch match. Please, I will go. Of course, I will. Imagine watching people flying and like someone trying to catch a snitch. That would be the most entertaining thing ever. Of course, I wanna go. I just love reading about all the matches. It's the best. Like it's the best. All three like books except the fourth one because the first one is different. The fourth one is fun for all different reasons. But I love all the Quidditch matches. I love Harry being the seeker and like the curse with Snape cursing them but it's not him, and like Hermione and Ron coming to his defense, and like I love the teamwork in there where the two of them like just Hermione saves the day there. Basically, without Hermione, we wouldn't be here. And like then Harry catches a snitch and it's like a win. It's like so fun. It's like such a fun episode. It's fun, super fun. Like it's one of the most fun episodes in the whole thing. That's why it's up there for me in fifth place. In fourth place is the last episode, 17. The Man with Two Faces, which we get to know about Quidditch. When you read it in the first place, it's such a twist. Now reading it back, it's a, but I love getting to know it's not Snape. The reveal, like we get to know Snape was a student with his parents. This is where we get to know that and why they hate each other, and like we get a little bit of answers to why like he wasn't killed. And but there's a little bit of answers in the end of this. There's still a lot of mystery, so like you have all the rest of the book to solve a lot of the mysteries that like are still not closed. We still don't fully understand how he is saved. We get a little bit of information though about a lot of stuff, and it's just such a good episode. Good. I love. I think almost each episode has it when we have like episodes with Dumbledore, and Dumbledore like tells them stuff and we get to understand a little bit more what happened in that moment. I like that. Ooh, like we get to know a lot of stuff with these conversations. I love this conversation with Dumbledore. We always get to know so much stuff. It's like a conclusion to everything that happened in the whole book. And it's just so fun. It's super fun. Like, and it's super like informative. I feel like every time we get to one of these conversations, it's always towards the end or in the end scene, and it's very fun. Yeah, so, and it's the end of the book. It's a big battle. I like it. We get to know like the whole. It gets intense. This is where we get intense. It's a fight scene. So I like it. It's a big ending. I like that. Anyway, in third place is the journey from platform 9 3/4. So I just love him getting to the ride, and then him meeting the whole family of the Weasley. Just such a iconic moment. And like, but my favorite thing, like besides them with the Weasley and the whole interaction, which is cute, that's not why it's my favorite. It's him and Ron, and just the whole journey to like Hogwarts. But like them becoming friends, talking about their own like stuff that like they struggle with, like like it is such a fun journey. Like Harry choosing Ron over Malfoy because they meet Malfoy in the train. Like you meet Malfoy in Diagon Alley, and like he's such a like he doesn't like Harry doesn't like him, but in the train he asks him to be his friend and to choose him over Ron, but he chooses Ron. And it's just so cute, and they share sweets because Ron doesn't have all the money, but like Harry has it all. And like the whole thing about like he didn't have anybody to share it with, or like anything to share like with someone. it's just such a heartwarming like thing, and I love the friendship that we formed because we this is the start of the long during these two are going to come. They're still not friends with Hermione, but Hermione is appearing in that chapter, and like the whole dynamic is like so cute and so fun. It's the friendship is just the best, and like Ron explains to him a lot of the magic and the stuff. I just love that. Man, it just I love that chapter. It just the friendship is everything, which is why the my second favorite chapter is Halloween, which is the chapter where Hermione, Ron, and Harry becomes friends. Because up until then, Hermione is being annoying to them, and they don't get along. And Hermione is pretty much a loner because she's like a very smart ass, and she's very smart. She's very amazing, but like in the first few chapters, she's a little bit annoying. She's a little bit, she like tells them a lot about what to do and stuff. But this chapter was finally over, and the friends and the whole like them coming to save her and saving her life with the troll, all of them like coming to like together to like attack this beast. I just like that. I like the friendship finally becoming a thing, and it's just magical. The moment that happened, it just everything clicks. The three, like it's about the friendship. That's why I love this chapter so much. Finally becoming friends, finally, and yeah, I like that. I also really like. I think it's in the last episode, not in the next one I'm gonna say, but even if it's in this, more of the reason why it's number one, where Hermione tells him like he's like the best, and like the friendship and the bravery is everything. Not everything is about studies. Like she learned it from him, and like him saying, "Oh, but you're genius." Like I just love the little moments of friendship. So my favorite episode is through the trapdoor, which is they go through all of the challenges to get to prefer to quill, and it's so action packed, and it's just every character gets to have a moment where they shine and show the strengths. I just like that. It shows you who they are, what the strengths are, what you know. I just love that. I love that. They go into each character, and there's a lot of dynamic, there's a lot of teamwork. They trust each other so much in this thing, and also the whole thing of them going with him like at all. They like no hesitation the moment they say I need to do that. They killed my parents. He had to say the whole speech, and they were like, okay, we are with you, and I just like that. It has happened a lot in the whole book, but this is the first moment it happened to be like, we're not leaving you alone, we are with you. And it's again this friendship and them working in teamwork, and each of them like still shining on their own. It's like there's a teamwork, but each of them still gives a bit of their personality that shines through, and it's just the best. It's the best. Like seeing Ron like taking the front and fighting, and like also getting points for it at the end. All of them are getting points for the like, bravery, and I like it because Ron didn't have it. That's what he wanted. He wanted to thrive and be successful on his own, and like say his own name, and he's already doing that. And he's such a good friend to Harry. He's just always by his side, and always. And Hermione was just such a good friend, and I just love. It's just everything happening. It's just such a fun episode, but so dramatic and so serious at the same time. But it's about the friendship, and it's about everything like that. So that's basically it. That's my favorite chapter. And with that, I'm finished. So I really like this this book. I think all of these books are like 4.5 and 5 and like 6 and 7. I'm not gonna tell you the score for it though, but all of these books have that. In conclusion, it's 5. No, sorry, 6 out of 10. 6, no 6 out of 10. 6 out of 5. You know how the 5 stars, more than 5 stars, million stars. I just love this series so much, but I would give 6. The whole entire series, not this specifically. I will rank them after. So ciao ciao. This has been lovely. I'm tired. My voice is not here. So I'm going to upload it, and this is the wrong one. So good luck.